Hello everyone, Crack the Code here, and today I just want to do a short tutorial on how to make the originally horizontal progress bar into some sort of vertical meter so that you can use this to measure the progress of something vertically. For example, like in this fundraiser thermometer app. Let's get cracking. Okay, so of course the first thing you want to do is make a new project in Android Studio. I just called mine tutorial just for the sake of simplicity. So the first thing that you want to do is obviously get your progress bar out. So go ahead and use the horizontal one and put it anywhere you like. Extend it out so that it goes across. And as you can see, if you can actually see it, it's kind of transparent and pretty narrow and pretty dull. So let's go ahead and see how the color of the clip or the color of the progress is. So we just do Android progress and let's just set it at 70. As we can see, it's not that appealing, especially if you want to match the theme of your app or if you don't want it horizontal at all. There's actually a pretty easy fix to that. So the first thing that we want to do is define this in the main activity. Now go ahead and set a value to it, otherwise it won't initialize properly when you set the theme up. So let's go ahead and just give it 70 so we can see what we've done. Okay, now that we have that set up, now setting up a theme is actually pretty easy. What you do is you make a new drawable resource file. Right? I'm going to call you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine progress bar theme. Okay, so within the selector, you want to make a new item inside of your progress bar theme or whatever you called your file. Item, Android, do ID, add at Android, and go ahead and do ID progress. Okay, so after you've done your item tag, go ahead and make a clip. Now this also reinforces that we're going to edit the clip of the progress bar, which is actually I believe just the progress of it, the visual aspect of it. So go ahead and also create a clip within that item object and do Android clip orientation, make that vertical. Now this is not just going to do it, you also need to do the gravity to the bottom so it comes from the bottom. Otherwise it actually looks really weird and it only fills up a certain portion of the bar and it just gets kind of complicated. So there we go. Another thing that we can do within the clip tag is change the color. So do color, and I'll just go ahead and make it black. Close that out, and there we go. So now that we have our custom file right here, we can go back to the activity main, and once we're in activity main, go ahead and do Android, of course in the progress bar, progress, drawable. Now here's where we can set our drawable file. So go ahead and do progress bar theme. And now that we have that set up, as you can see, you can't really see it anymore. That's because we didn't even give it a background, which we can do. So now that we've got the theme set, I went ahead and just made it vertical, and now we're going to run it and see how it looks. Here's how it looks when you run it. It's not that amazing right now, but we can put a background to show the progress properly. And we can also add a little animation, which is what I'm going to show you next. But this is basically the template for customizing your vertical progress bar. Alright, so to set the backgrounds, what you want to do is actually change the selector tag at the top to a layer list because we're going to be working with multiple layers at this point. So as you can see, we have this item with Android ID progress that shows we're going to change the progress. But with the background, you want to do the same thing. Item Android ID is equal to Android ID, but this time instead of progress, do background. So go ahead and do that, and then what you want to do is set the color the same as before. So I set this to a kind of not chartreuse, but a pretty bright green here, and then I set the progress to a black. And now, when we go to the activity XML, we see that this is bright green, and this is the background. And now we're going to run it and see how it looks with the background. So as you can see, we have the black, which is 70% filled up because it's the progress, and we set that to 70 earlier. And we have the green, which is the background, which is the leftover, which shows how much we have to go until we get to 100% of the progress. progress all customized, we have our background all customized, and the bar is vertical. Now there's one more thing that we can do to add some flair to our progress bar, and that is to add an animation. And this is actually pretty easy. What you want to do is that you want to make a folder called ANIM, like anim. Your Android Studio may or may not come with this folder. So when you do want to create it, just go to res and Android resource directory. And once you make that, name it anim and you're set. So inside of anim, do new animation resource file. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to call this one progress bar anim. Okay, basically all we want to do to give it the illusion that it's going up is to translate it on the y-axis. So basically we make it go up for a certain duration. And that's pretty easy to accomplish. Go ahead and do translate. Now do Android. Now do Android from Y delta, and Y of course is going to be going up. So let's do that about 100. And let's also do the X delta, or on the X axis, and let's just go ahead and do 0 because we don't want it to go side to side, we want it to go up. And we also want to, and also what we do is set a duration so that it actually has something to go by. So let's set this fairly long, set about 1,000, and that'll give it the nice smoothness that we want. Okay, and setting the animation is just that easy. Now we have to go inside of main activity and initialize it from there. In the main activity, all we have to do is create a new animation variable. So do animation, and I'll just go ahead and just call it animation, is equal to, and then we have to cast to animation. Do animation utils dot load animation. Do this for the context, and then go ahead and let's get our animation that we just got. So r.anim .progress bar anim, and there we go. So now we have our animation all set up right there, and we just have to start the animation on the progress bar, which is not that hard. Progress bar custom dot set animation, or sorry, start animation, and do animation. And when it launches, we should see the animation play. Yep, and there we go. So it has the illusion that it's going up. Alright, well that's the end of this little tutorial, and I hope it helped you out. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.